Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Serious Strategy Gamer and we are returning to a Let's Play of War in the West. So, we are about to execute the air phase over here. And let's briefly recapitulate what we're going to see. So, we are going to see the United States 8th Air Force bomb Leuna down there at Meersburg. So that is a synthetic oil refinery. We're also bombing another synthetic oil refinery here in the Ruhr Valley. We're also bombing Cologne, the vehicle factory there, the Ford Motor factory. And we've also got another air base over here that is going to be targeted by our tactical air forces. Meanwhile, our fighters are going to try to support us over there. We have landed in Sicily and we're going to try to support that. So we are seeing a large concentration of forces here in northwest Sicily. That's primarily where our tactical air forces are going to hit. And then we've got a couple of air superiority missions and a couple of naval missions down here along the strait. So that should hopefully cover most of our advance we're going to see. Didn't we have... Oh yeah, there's the Desert Air Force over here. Now you guys, you're mostly based around here, aren't you? Yeah, I think we would actually like to... You're currently supporting someone over there. You know what? I think it would be fantastic if you guys could... 7th US Army? How about the 8th British Army? Yeah, let's try to do it like that. I would like to see that. Okay, so you're gonna be directly supporting these guys. Now the difference between these two, ground attack and ground support air directives, are, as far as I can tell, this is gonna directly support someone in combat, so that is gonna be executed in the ground phase, and this is gonna be sort of more an interdiction type of mission. Anyway, let's start the air execution. I'm really interested to see just how well this here is gonna work. And it's always so, you know, you just sort of throw the dice and then you have to live with the losses. And you just see them piling up, but we don't immediately see what's going on. So yeah, you can see us flying a lot of sorties over here. Our losses are piling up quite quickly. By now we've already lost more than 100 aircraft. That is not sustainable at all. And indeed the Germans are losing quite a bit less. Now that is to be expected. We are, after all, fighting over Germany. And we are attacking them when they have flak in air support and all of that. Nonetheless, that is stressful to see. So let's see what's going on over here. So we have an air superiority mission over here, and it doesn't really seem to do that much. We've lost 1 aircraft, we have 5 aircraft damage, we haven't shot down anything at all from the enemy. And then we've got Bomber Command here at various different things. So firstly, we are... This is Bur, is it? Yeah, this is Bur, so... We've got these guys here flying recon missions. One of these guys is shot down or operational losses, we don't know. Now that's alright so far. The big question is how much damage are we doing here? That is looking relatively fine, I would say. So we've got about 50 damage to the... So we've got basically 2 synthetic plants over here, right? Why are you doing the resource production? That's weird. Okay, so that is some damage over here. That's 54% on the 17. That's let's call that 60. 60% on the one, and the other one is 69%. So they are quite heftily damaged. Nevertheless, we did lose more than 14, 21, 25 bombers here in that attack. That is hefty. That is hefty. We'll have to see what that was exactly. I suppose we can see that over here, right? So, yeah, what did we lose here? I just want to dig into that a little bit in more depth and see what's going on here. So it's mostly the Halifaxes, and surprisingly, it's not even to flak. It's mostly operational losses. Now this might be flak once they are returning, but still, this is hefty. I mean, this is a lot of aircrafts being lost. Now the Halifaxes are, I think, only 2 engine bombers, aren't they? No, they are actually proper aircraft, like proper 4 engine bombers. Huh. That's harsh. Now there were a couple of air combats here before, and our guys obviously were intercepted as they were coming in. Now what did they have in terms of their aircraft? Bf-101s, and they are scoring a couple of kills here. Now I wonder why are our escort fighters not quite up to the task over here? We are flying higher than they are. I I think our escort fighters, and these are the guys with the better radar sets. Nevertheless, it's a lot of airfights over here, so that is honestly that is discouraging. That was a so-so result over here, I would say. Can we look at the industry over here at Bur? So yeah, synthetic refineries. One of them 70% damage, one of them 60% damage. That's not quite as much as I would have hoped. Resource production is damaged as well. That is a nice bonus, but it's not gonna be crucial. Okay, right. Let's see how the other attack by the Royal Air Force went on Cologne itself. So yeah, one more aircraft lost here. That's not the end of the world. A lot of aircraft damage though. That is discerning. Okay, and then we've got the attack here on the Cologne factory itself. Now, surprisingly, we don't seem to be really doing that much damage here on the vehicle factories themselves in these two raids. So on day 3 we did quite a bit of damage, 15%, but on day 5 and day 7 we basically didn't hit it at all. And that is quite interesting, isn't it? We did lose a couple of aircraft here, but the Germans did lose some as well, so that is interesting. Now, what are they bringing into the fight, I wonder, over here? So I presume it must be 101s. Yeah. These are the night fighter squadrons. They are coming in at our altitude. Now our escorts seem to have a hard time trying to attack these guys. Yeah. Nevertheless, yeah, we are losing. They lost one. We lost a Lancaster bomber here. Oh, we lost a night fighter. Well, to flak though. That's okay. Yeah, and then another. It's mostly flak losses really. So their night fighters aren't doing great. Still, it's interesting to see that their attacks were, or that our attacks were not quite as useful here in 2 of these 3 days. We really have to see about that. Okay, then we've got the Tactical Air Force. You were supposed to target an airfield. Now let's see whether that did anything. Well, it seems like a couple of things here are being destroyed, and I'm not sure whether these things are lost on ground losses. Yeah, indeed, we did shoot down, we did bomb a couple of aircrafts over here. Well, that's okay. Don't mind that. It's only 3 aircraft, but you know, we didn't really lose that many. 7 damaged, but that's fine. Okay, that's good. And then we've got the big one over here. So ooh, this looks hurtful. This looks very hurtful. Ouch. That's 130 bombers damaged or lost. On the other hand, so you could only fly on 2 days, 3 and 5. And we lost 14 bombers in this sortie. It's a small proportion of the overall fleet, but damn. Damn, that's still quite a bit. Also, we are destroying, I mean, we're doing quite a bit of damage here, right? This is 50%, this is 80. They must be nearly shot down. Completely shot down. Interesting. Okay, that's good. That's hefty losses, but it's a worthwhile target, I think. We are going to have to check what exactly... You know what? I think we should actually check what these guys were lost to. And I suppose it's flak. Air losses. Operational losses. Quite a couple of B-24s as well. And a couple of Thunderbolts. Really? Really interesting. Why though? Why that many operational losses? Well, we might never know. By the way, you can see that there were 11 things that were going on in this particular field here at any one time. Yeah, so we've got a couple of lightnings coming in. There's our bomber fleet with the crass operational losses. More operational losses. Ops losses. It's mostly ops losses. I wonder, maybe we've sent them in too aggressively. Alright, and then we've got Malta Air Command down here, so these guys are trying to do superiority missions. That's fine, you're losing a couple of aircraft though. Yeah, but you're shooting down a couple as well. I'm not sure why we don't have enemy information here when clearly we're shooting down some enemies. And that is actually fairly nice, you know, a couple of these naval patrols here where we're shooting down a couple of theirs. I mean, this interdiction here isn't doing great, but we are shooting down a lot of German aircraft, so I think that's fine. Another air superiority mission here. Ooh, this is looking good. 10 German bombers being shot down. I do like to see that. What is that? Ah, well, it's mostly Italian. Alright, okay, Italian losses I tend to heavily discount, but that's fine. And then we've got the strategic bombers, and that is also going to be a very interesting raid, because that was a raid, I believe, on an airfield that we had somewhere over here. You know what, let's actually get rid of this here, because that is a little bit annoying. Can I just not see that, please? But I would like to see these results over here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so the ground attack of the strategic bombers, that was on mainland Italy over here. So yeah, I really want to find out what that was about. And that was 13 losses over there, so that is not great. Where do we see that? That's over here, so that's the ground attack mission here. Yeah, and we are attacking the airfield here. But we are shooting down quite a number of aircraft here, or destroying them on the ground. So we lost, overall, 13 aircraft, plus about 50 aircraft damaged. But we did destroy more than 33 aircraft here from the enemy. That is actually very nice. Especially this attack over here. So what have we got over here? We have got airfield being bombed. Air losses. Yeah, and they are losing quite a couple of aircraft here on the ground, and a couple of these are German, so that is nice to see. That is definitely nice to see. And we are shooting down a number of these things as they are coming in. I wonder who shot that down. Probably the escort fighters, right? Yeah. So mostly these Lightnings, P-38s. Yeah. That is very nice. That is very nice indeed. I like it. Good. Yeah, look at that. 14 aircraft. Well, on the other hand, these are Italian. Yeah, these are Italian, so not a big deal. But still, you know, slowly but surely we are wearing them down, so that is definitely nice to see. Desert Air Force, you haven't really done anything yet. Then we've got all of these naval guys, that's fine. What on earth happened over with you guys? So you were being jumped at by some fighters here, were you? Yeah. Baltimore Force and Bofors. Harsh. Harsh, that is harsh. Okay. But nevertheless, okay, that's fine. Anything else that we did want to see over here? Tactical Air Command. Yeah, that is an important one. Yes, 60 aircraft loss. That is the big one. That is us trying to interrupt and interdict them. And you can see this is not necessarily going great. Couple of attacks on some units here. But yeah, we are being chewed up. This is not beautiful. This is not beautiful at all. And it is that we are losing aircraft before the actual fight. So they are intercepting us. Still. Even though we try to bomb the airfield. Maybe we should have done the attack on the airfield a little bit earlier. So that should have maybe been the first thing that we do. So that they are a little bit more exhausted. Well, we don't know. We see that there's still quite a couple of aircrafts there on the other hand. So that is interesting. Okay, nevertheless, let's move on to the ground phase. So let's get rid of the air phase windows here for a second. On the other hand, what I probably want to do is get the information of what are enemy hexes and which are ours. So as you can see, most of the island is still considered to be in enemy hands. Nevertheless, we have landed down here, and that is fantastic to see. So these guys are our forces over here, and you can see we've founded two of these engineering battalions, regiments, whatever. And these guys are building up the hexes here, so specifically the railroad damage, which otherwise would, I think, be relatively high, wouldn't it? Rail usage, 61, yeah, that's fine. Don't see that the railroad itself would be damaged. Yeah, over here you can see this is damaged at 100%. So, yeah, that is to be kept in mind. Sometimes the game is a little bit weird like that. Okay, nevertheless, let's look at the 5th British Infantry Division over here. And I would like to get Catania over here, because that has a relatively large naval base. So we are going to get over there. We are going to see that they are, a couple of their troops are going to surrender over here. And that is, of course, fairly nice. Now, we could move up over there. We could stay where we are. I do think it does make sense to climb up here into these hills and get into contact with Schmalz Panzergrenadier Brigade. These guys are going to be tough. Yeah. Nevertheless, we have captured an important area over here, and let's get over here and let's start repairing this port right away, because that is going to be super useful. And we also should basically briefly check over here. So yeah, this port is also being repaired, but that is going to take a while until that is going to be done. So yeah, you are part of the 13th Corps. I believe something down here should be part of the 13th Corps as well. Yeah, you guys over here. So I would very much like you to be somewhat close to one another. We could attack over here and start to push back these Italians. I think that should be relatively easily doable. So yeah. Let's go ahead, and I'm going to increase the message level over here, just so that you can see how this looks once we start fighting. So, yeah, we can do two things. We can do a hasty attack, or we can do a planned attack. At this point, I think we cannot do a planned attack, because we don't have enough movement points, basically. So, I think that's fine. By the way, notice that we have done some recon on them, and we have some interdiction, so they shouldn't be able to easily withdraw. That, I think, is nice to see. I would also like to see, yeah, well, ammo you've all got. Supply priority? No, not priority. None. Morale. Look at that. The Italians have very low morale. The Germans have some morale. That is somewhat expected. Experience? Yeah, same. Then we've got supplies, and these guys do look like they are a little bit out of supplies, so that's nice. Okay, yeah, let's start the first attack over here. And we're going to see how all of these different squadrons and all of these different elements of these things are going to fire at each other at different ranges. We are here on the right, they are on the left. They have about 3,600 men. We've got about 15,000, and you can just see that they lost 4 guys over there. And you could, you know, we could watch this all day. I'm going to gradually increase the message level over here, so that means that we're going to get less information, and potentially I'm going to increase that quite a bit here. So let's go to message level 1, I think, so that we have just the overall information. And you can see that they routed. We killed about 1,200 men there, so that is definitely nice, and we have pushed them back. So, good result for us. And that is already fairly nice. Is there anyone else from the 13th Corps? No, I shouldn't think so. Yeah, and you guys are all the 30th Corps. So, regarding the 30th Corps, I would very much... Yeah, this is just a brigade. Okay, let's grab the 51 Infantry Division over here. And we're going to bring you up over here onto this airfield, which I think is fantastic. Yeah, that's very nice. And then we're going to grab these guys here. These are Canadian troops. And we're going to bring you up over here as well. So, yeah, mostly that should be fine. Let's look at these guys and actually assign a couple of support units here if we can. We cannot. Well, that's interesting. Okay, and then we've got you over here. You should likewise move up, I suppose. Yeah, so that mostly our British troops are pushing in that direction. These guys over here, I would very much like to grab a couple of these railroads, basically, and at some point also this airbase, but it's not quite as crucial at the moment. For now, I would very much like our troops here to be up and connected, and that should be good. Right, perfect actually. Okay, nice. We've also got the airbase, which is going to be increased over here. Nice. And then we've got you guys, and you, I suppose, are repairing stuff over here. Now, we have something that's called a temporary port over here, which I'm not sure we can see somewhere over here. Yeah, we can. Okay, so it's right up there in the top column there. So because we've got these naval squadrons here that are just adjacent to these troops, or these hexes, we can basically import some stuff over here, and that is going to be extremely useful. Now, that's not quite true over here in Karakusa, because there is actually a port. So these guys over here don't give us any benefit as far as I can tell. So what we're going to do with these guys is we are going to bring them back in naval transport mode towards over here. We're going to start preparations on an attack on Sicily very soon. But before we do that, let's start bringing in these British troops over here. And I'm going to start with the 13th Corps. Now we could come on land over there, and we could try to do that down here. But I do think this is probably going to be the most promising port here, simply because these troops have, or these ports down there have the capability to do that for us. Okay, let's move up over here. So now you guys are sort of in range there, and I think that's a good idea. And then what? You know what? We're going to try to take you guys here as well. Going to take the naval transport, and then going to just move up like that. Let's get off the ships, and let's move up. You know what? We can move them all up over here. So we've just got a giant pile of headquarter units here. We don't need to be that close, but you know what? I think it's fine. Can we assign support units now? Yes, we can. And indeed, something that I would like to do is I would like to attach all of these Canadian armoured brigades here to the 1st Canadian Infantry Division, just because I think that does make a lot of sense thematically. And yeah, there we've got the Shermans and all of that, so that is super nice, and that does give us quite a bit of boost to that unit as well. And you know what, you guys over here, can I assign any support units to you? Yes, I can. Don't think we need anti-aircraft, anti-tanks though. Yes, I do think these would be very welcomed. We are after all facing off against these guys over here. Now, these might not, strictly speaking, have a lot of tanks. Well, they have a couple of Stugs. And quite a bit of motorized, mechanized infantry, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you know what, let's do take the AA there, and I think that's going to be fine. Don't think we need infantry. Some armoured brigades would be super lovely. Yeah, let's do take that. I think that's lovely indeed. And then some AA. Well, we really don't need AA, I think. It's gonna be fine. We don't need that. We don't need army engineers either. Commander battalion, I think these guys are better suited for our future landings, so again, I think this is somewhat okay. You know what, let's load you up just with more tanks, and I think that's fine. And then these troops down here, which are also from that same group, you're going to get the other tanks here, that's fine. And you know what, you're going to get some light AA here, and that's okay, so yeah. So that does strengthen our units here quite a bit, quite substantially I would say. And then the 30th Corps, yeah, no, we did you guys here, you should also be able to get some support. Yeah, let's give you some anti-tanks here. And I think, you know what, some artillery here. That's fine. We don't need to specifically assign that to the divisions. We could also just leave that in the various divisions over here. But you know what, I think it's fine and lovely. Good. And let's briefly check on this. As a temporary port. This is a port, so you guys over here should actually make sure that that is repaired, and it is, so that's nice. That also means that we can withdraw these units over here, so let's do that. Let's move you out of the way a little bit, just so it becomes a little bit easier to handle over here. Now, we've got an Italian unit that is just sitting immediately over here. We've also got a Ranger force that is probably not going to be strong enough to take these guys out. So you know what, let's actually do an attack with you guys over here. And they are losing quite a couple of men, and they should definitively be routed or withdrawn. Yeah, there they are. So that's nice, and that does basically open up the entire south of the island here, I would say. to us. So that's fairly fantastic. Where can we move you guys then? We could move you up sort of in this direction. I would also like to take out these harbours over there, but Palermo itself I think is probably the biggest port that is still left for them. Yeah. So we need to break their lines of communications from Palermo. And you know what? I think we're going to move into these mountains here just to start off. And these guys, you're also second corps, so let's actually move up along the railway over here. Slowly gonna make our way that way. And I think that's fantastic. You guys, we could try to hunt you in these mountains. And it's just a coastal regiment, so honestly these guys are probably not going to hold out too long. Let's just take the railroad here instead, and I think that's okay. Now we've got one more unit over here, the 1st Infantry Division actually. You guys might as well come over here. I think that's perfectly fine. Can I assign anything to you? Yeah, you've got already a tank battalion, so that's nice. Yeah, and we should actually get the headquarter units here. So actually both of you guys do come... Well, that is a fantastic route. Why is that? Because the Germans have so much interdiction over here? Yeah, so that is a problem. The Germans have quite... You see the bluish number there? That is the German interdiction amount, so that's not great. And I suppose this might be a bit safer actually. Yeah, because we don't need to... Well, we're saving just a little bit. You know what? Let's try to get over here. And one of the troop transport is hit. And we're losing 2,500 men. Okay. Honestly, the naval aspect of that game is sometimes really, really awkward, I find. This is just brutal. Okay, nevertheless, we did get on land, and that is the main thing there, so that's nice. Let's grab all of these guys, really, and try to get on land over here, I suppose. Now the transport is hit, 700 men lost. This is not what happened historically. And I'm not that bad at this, am I? Jesus. Okay, let's unload all of these troops, but yeah, that was hurtful. Nevertheless, we have got our armored troops here now on the shore, so that is nice, and let's move you up then. So we can't really move you up that far. Still, I do believe that would be quite beneficial if we could at least try to get you up a little bit. There we go. Yeah, and that should be it. Alright, what else have we got? We've got the railroad repair guys. So yeah, I think you, if we can bring you up, that would also be fantastic. Can we actually get a decent map mode here with the rail? Yeah, so basically all of these rails are screwed. Alright, that's gonna be fine. I mean, for now it's not the biggest deal, but we do definitely need to fix some of that. So, okay, let's start out with you. So, I would like you to move, I suppose, over here. Try to get you there. Okay, fantastic. Let's get you off the ships. Can't move any further. Okay, that's fine. And then you guys over here, well, let's get you here so that you can link up there at least. Link up all of these ports. Yeah, that's going to be okay. And I think that should have fixed the thing over here. Yeah, that it did, so that's nice. You don't have any railroad repair capacity, so that's unfortunate. But you know what? I think that's all in all pretty good. I like it. Okay, so we've got a couple of these other guys over here. I think you're just building up the air bases and stuff like that, aren't you? Yeah. Which is definitely an important task, so I don't necessarily want to stop you from doing that. So, what I'm going to do in between episodes, because I don't think it's just the most exciting thing, is I'm going to grab quite a couple of these guys over here. I'm going to move them up via railroad towards Tunisia over here, and just going to start packing up a couple of these guys here on ships and going to try to move them over. Mostly, as I see it, the Germans are withdrawing over here, so that is certainly interesting to see. Yeah, quite a couple of them are on this side already, aren't they? Yeah, just look at all of the stuff that they saved. This is quite a bit. 900 support units as well. Still, they have a couple of combat units here, and specifically this one. It would be nice to break through over here and just prevent these guys from retreating. But yeah, it's going to take a while. We do need to make some progress over here. We do need to make sure that we're not outrunning our supply and all of that. And one thing I should actually check is we've got a couple of airfields. Now, we could land over here, but I'm not too sure what that would mean. Specifically, since I don't think we can really support that attack, I don't think this is something that I want to do. On the other hand, up over here, now this is something that I would like to take, because it does have a decent chance of cutting off at least some supply that would otherwise come from Palermo towards these guys. And just reduce their ability to move around just a little bit. And if I remember correctly, it should be these guys over here that are landing over there, aren't they? So that is which field? That is 147268. Yeah, that is exactly these guys. So let's order these guys to drop. And yeah, let's just let the AI handle all of the transport stuff, and that should be okay. So as I see, they are landing there. They are not really exposed to any hostilities, so that is fine. And indeed, you are over here. I think you are slightly... You didn't land quite where we thought you would. And you're now really close to 2/3 of a Panzer Grenadier division. So that's not necessarily the best for you. But... yeah, let's see about that. I thought you'd be landing over here, and I'm slightly concerned that you haven't. Now, we could try to land further troops over this way. I think there was someone, at least part of this group over here. Now, you guys, you could drop over there. You know what? Let's have the 82nd Airborne Division land over there. Let's see whether they are also landing in slightly the wrong place. No, they are doing fine. We can't move you up now, but that's okay. Yeah, and you are quite a strong unit, relatively speaking, so at least you're there to potentially support your buddy there, so that's okay. Good. You know what? I think this is a perfect place to put in a cut. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Do leave a like and all of that, and I hope to see you around next time. Bye-bye.